So, last year, America lost a war, Afghanistan, and it was in the news for, 3 days, maybe 4. Do you remember the Taliban taking over the palace? You remember that? I mean, that happened, everybody. Taliban's running Afghanistan right now. And the reaction in America, especially from Pentagon brass, ho-hum, yeah, it happened, and we will focus there's a bunch of bureaucratic mumbo-jumbo. The only person who really demanded accountability was former Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller. He made a remarkable video in the heat of the crisis, saying things that had to be said about senior leadership and the horrendous mistakes that had been made. He's out of the Marine Corps now. He got into some trouble over that. Put out a pretty interesting book a couple of months ago, Crisis of Command, How We Lost Trust and Confidence in America's Generals and Politicians. We thought we'd talk to him again about the continued woke craze in the military. Welcome back, Colonel Scheller. How are you?
Thanks for having me back on, Greg. Excited to be here.
You bet. Hey, I want to talk about the book and Afghanistan and a couple of other things in a moment. But first, you're a Marine, and I'd like to show you this new policy that at least seems to be under consideration. No more gender talk at boot camp. Let's go ahead and put that up on the screen if you don't mind. Marine Corps may drop ma'am and sir over gender-neutral concerns. Employing gender-neutral identifiers eliminates the possibility of misgendering drill instructors, which can unintentionally offend or cause discord. Not yet the policy, but it certainly seems to be going that way. What do you think?
I did some research on the two people that did the study, 2 PhDs, University of Pittsburgh. Neither of them have military experience. One did some athletic development for the military, but neither of them ever served. And I think that's a problem right now. The military is outsourcing to a lot of university PhD types without experience, and they're not necessarily doing what's in the best interest of the military. My concern is that the senior military leaders have demonstrated that they don't have a lot of courage when there's policies pushed down that may not be in the best interest of the warfighting organization. The guy in charge of the Marine Corps' training command, General Farrell Sullivan, was the general that was in charge of the evacuation, the one-star that planned it. So a lot of those same people are getting moved up into positions where some of these policies that don't make sense, you would expect them to have some moral courage. I think this is a little bit too far. I'd like to think that the senior military leaders are going to push back on this, but crazier things have happened.
Yeah, one of the things the senior military leaders seem afraid of is getting yelled at or questioned when they get to Capitol Hill, which sometimes happens, and they have not been impressive in pushing back. It seems like all of it is designed to keep them out of trouble. Why do you think the generals are like this? They weren't always like this. What happened?
It's a systemic problem. When you do a 40-year career, which is what it takes to be a 4-star general, at each step of promotion, it's not performance-based. You have to impress your boss. And so if you become singularly focused on impressing your boss, that's what we produce. And so at the end of the day, you have people that are willing to do what they're told to make sure that their boss likes them. It's about self-preservation. It's about career advancement. And it's not what's in the best interest of the macro military system. And so what we need is people that can stand up, and it might come at expense of their career progression. But when everyone is so focused on their individual advancement, the system deteriorates, as we can see that's happening now.
It's interesting. Lots of people in the military, almost all, will sacrifice their life for their country, but very few will sacrifice their career. It's kind of a conundrum. It kind of doesn't make sense, but it's in a weird way, it's kind of admirable, but at the same time, it's not. Hey, do me a favor, stick around. We got one more segment. We'll be right back.